Okay, and welcome back to the next video. In this video, I just want to quickly give you a glimpse and a view of what the end product is going to be. And I think that's quite important because it allows you to kind of see in your mind's eye as we go through building the Power BI dashboard and as we start talking about some of the concepts that we're going to include in the risk management dashboard, you can see how they're going to be used in the final product. So this is going to be the front page. This page here is going to show an overall status. And this is going to be red, orange, amber, and green. And this will change depending on the number of defects that are in the risk matrix. So this is the risk matrix here. We can see it's broken up into a number of different risk areas. And each one of these is grouped into a risk grouping. So we've got red, we've got amber, and we've got green. And along the top, we've got the likelihood from low to very likely along the x-axis, and along the y-axis here we've got the consequence severity. So how severe is the risk going to be potentially? So something at the top here is very likely and very severe is obviously in the red. Something at the bottom here that's negligible impact and unlikely to happen is firmly in the green. So that's the kind of risk matrix. Next, we've got just a statement here related to this this high-level status to just further explain what this means in terms of business impact. And then we've got three statements here with a little bit of color coding, a little bit of color-coded symbols. And the first one is basically, and these are dynamic, so these will change depending on what the current status is. So the first one here is just explaining that there's the number of high-risk defects that are at the site. If there's no high-risk defects, that would change to tell us the number of medium-risk defects, etc. So as the risk status reduces, this will dynamically change to reflect that. The second one is a statement of how many of these defects are scheduled for repair in the next 7 days. And this is going to be, so this one here, if we've got any high risk defects, we're pretty much going to be in the red. This one here is going to be in the red if we have got none of these defects. Will only be a tick actually if all of the high risk defects are scheduled for the next 7 days. And then this one at the bottom is explaining how many of these defects are in backlog. So backlog's a concept we'll cover later on. So this is really just a high level executive statement, risk level at the site, the risk matrix at a very high level, and then we've got some statements summarizing some of the key elements of the current status of operations. Now, if you click on here, this is going to drill through into screen number 2, which is going to be a smaller version of the risk matrix, but in this risk matrix, you've got the ability to click into here and you've got the ability to look at each one of these work orders. Now this is just constructed data, but this tells us the work order number, the description, how it's scheduled. So that's the status of the work, the status of the work through the work management process towards being completed. The discipline that's responsible for it, the department that's responsible for it. This area here, so it's a 15, which is in here. It's just a multiplication of the consequence and the severity and the target completion date. And then we've got the ability to go and filter here by different departments. And this will just show you the work for that department. Okay, I'll just come out of full screen mode here, and the next piece we've got that one. The next piece here is going to be the pre and post mitigation. And this is going to tell us the risk matrix when the defect was first recorded, and then we're going to show the risk matrix once some mitigation has been put in place. So this is a pre-mitigation risk matrix, and this is the post-mitigation risk matrix. At the bottom here, we've got the concept of a risk group, and we can see that the risk groups are pretty much the sum of the risks that are in the red area, the yellow area, and the green area. And we've got that as a pre-mitigation, and then we've got post-mitigation. So we can see the numbers in each one of these different states. And then across here we've got the pre and post count for each of the squares here that have an actual one or more defects. So we can see here 20 has got 4 defects pre-mitigation, which is going to be this one here, which is 5 times 4. It would also be this one here, which is 4 times 5, but there's none in there, so it's 4. And then post mitigation, we can see it's reduced to 1. And then we've got a difference and a percentage difference and a little bit of a graph there. And then we've got the same figures here, but summarized by the risk grouping. And then finally, we've got a trend analysis report. So this report has got a lot more text in it, and it's really designed to be a bit more of an in-depth analysis of the current state of the risk at the site and the trend over time. So are we getting worse or are we getting better for each one of these different risk groups? So we've got the risk groups across the top: high risk, medium risk and low risk. And we've got a piece of just some information and a trend here. And the thing we've done here is we've highlighted the start and the end point. We've got a trend, we've got the high point here. Each one of these is numbered, so we'll go through that. So they will only show the values for the first and last and high points. And I'll explain how that works. We've got a trend, we've got a target, and we've got some sort of conditional formatting here that shows an indicator, which could be red or black. All of these are red at the moment, but this would be black if it was on target. And it's telling us the current value in comparison to the target that we've set. So the current value of 2 is above the target of 0 by 2. So if this was on or below the target, then this would be this would be black. It wouldn't highlight the fact that all of these are above target just now. And we've really just done the same thing for the medium defects and the low defects, and that's really tying into the requirement here to see not only the overall trend, which is coming down, but also we want to see is the trend reducing in the right places. So we really want the high risk defects to be 0. That's why the target's 0. And we want the medium risk defects to be trending down, and we want these to be trending down as well, the low risk defects, but it's less important if these are trending up, and it means we're basically working on the wrong, we're using our resources on the wrong work, essentially, if we had a situation where these were going down but these were trending up. Okay, so hopefully that gives you a good view of what we're going to have at the end of this particular course. Thanks for listening, and I'll talk to you in the next lesson.